Okay, just going to finish off this tinting of black and whites using adjustment layers. I'm still using this image from the comedy carpet on Black Promenade, and I'm going to use some of these different adjustment layers. Just make sure you're in an RGB file before you start, and let's have a look at the color balance. You see here, just click on these mid-tone shadows and highlights. We can go in and start playing with the sliders. Let's start with the shadows, and mouse down and just drag it across. Be as subtle, be as violent as you want to be. Let's look at the highlights. Same again, and I'm going to whip through these because you're going to experiment and find out how these work. I'm just here to show you. That's before, that's after. Very subtle if you keep your sliding to a minimum. Preserve luminosity doesn't really apply on this. If we were having sliding down the sliders a bit more, it would do. Let's just bin that and go to photo filter. And let's look at the density. Just mouse down, drag it up. Yeah, nice. But what else can we do? Well, there's lots of presets in here. Just either use your scroll mouse or scroll up and down, choose one. You can see that the color in the box is changing. If we click on the box, it becomes our color picker, and you can go in and choose a color of your choice. Really good. Preserve luminosity. I'd rather leave it clicked on. As you can see, it becomes dense and flat. Click on the preserve luminosity button, and that gives a nice bright color to your monochrome. Still zipping along, let's go to channel mixer. Channel mixer, we're already in monochrome. We're only interested in working in the R, G and B channels. Don't forget, mouse down, slide along, play around in this, play around. Best way of learning with this kind of method of tinting is to play about with your sliders and come up with combinations which you can replicate by using a fly up menu and saving. So let's have a look there. We can just save this, save the channel, call it what you want, and it will appear in your presets. Don't forget, they're not written in stone. You can actually play around with your presets once you load them up. Let's have a look at this one. This is gradient map. Gradient map's quite interesting if you're looking for a more graphic feel to your images. You're just applying a gradient across your image, which is blended in magically. You can achieve all kinds of interesting effects. Nothing really happening with reverse or the dither on this one. Sometimes it does have a different effect on your image if you do that. Have a play around with them. The other thing, of course, is that we can put our own gradients across. We'll just play around with this for a while. That's quite nice and strong. Remember, you can always go back in and add a hue saturation layer over the top of this. We can always come back in and play with our own gradients, which I'm going to do in a minute. Let's just have a look here, and don't forget, with all of these, play with the opacity of it, and the blend mode, of course. Have a look and see what blend mode will do. Ooh, that's nice and hot. You can completely change things around. So it's blend mode, opacity, and just play around with those combinations. So we'll play around, look at all these adjustment panels, go in, remember it's non-destructive, you can always go back. Let's just have a look at posterize today. So if you posterize an image, we're really driving the highlights into white and the blacks into black. Go back into adjustment panel, and the one we just played in is the gradient map. Have a look and see, nothing happens in that one. Try something else. So there you've got a very graphic image. If that's what you're looking for, that's the way you can do it. Posterize and then just put a gradient map on it. It'll take you 30 seconds. It's as quick as that. Let's just bin these. And I did say we're going to put our own gradient over the top. What we need to do with this, of course, is to open up an empty layer, which we'll go into the layers here, click on that, go to the new layer icon there, click on that, and we've got yellow over white. I'm going to choose the gradient tool there, and I'm going to drag it across, and the images appear. So it's back to blend modes again, and I'm just going to do the color blend mode. Don't forget, you've got your overlays, soft light, hard light, color burn. Experiment, that's the thing to do. Make a note, if you find a combination that works, save it as a preset. I'm going to keep that color. If I click X or the little toggle switch there, it'll turn things around. Click on the white, click in your color picker, don't forget to choose the color, and that's going to a blue to yellow gradient. Let's drag the other way around. So the blue's applied over there in a color burn blend mode. I think this one works better. That looks really good. It's dark, mysterious. And it takes 2 seconds. That's all it's, well, maybe 3 seconds, but 2 seconds. It's not going to take all day to add these interesting colour variations to your monochrome. Thanks for looking. We'll be going into black and white conversion methods next. Until the next time, bye for now.